In today's video, we finally get stuck into the exhaust on the LTD, so we take the old one off and we start piecing together the replacement muffler and resonator, including this bad boy from Sticky Flanges. Practice my very mediocre welding skills and do some test runs where it sounds good but it falls apart. But we finally get it to stick together. Let's go.
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of exhaust work on the LTD, letting this little 302 Windsor sing, because it is stupidly quiet and it is doing my head in. I have no idea what exhaust is under this thing. I'm assuming it's all stock. Pretty much what I'm looking at doing is obviously jacking it up and having a look and see what's under there. So we'll figure out what's under there first, see what we can do. I want to ideally do this on the cheap because I really want to do a proper exhaust system on this thing, proper twin system, and I kind of don't have the money for that right now, at least. So yeah, what I'm looking at doing is just doing it on the cheap, just to get a little bit of noise. I'm not really interested in performance. I just want to make it sound nice, essentially. So we'll see if we can get that achieved on a relatively low budget, which I'm sure we can. So we'll figure out what's underneath this car first, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so what we're going to do today is jack up the back of the LTD, and we'll see what we can do with the exhaust. And because I'm at work right now, just clocked out, so I'm going to make use of the forklift. Because I don't have a jack available right now, so yeah. Alright, so I'm going to strap this bad boy onto the tow bar, because I don't really care, to be honest. I just need it high enough so I can get a caliper across the exhaust pipe and see what the configuration of the mufflers are. So yeah. Oh, that's interesting. This thing doesn't even have cats. Okay, so straight off the headers, Y pipe. Looks like this might be somewhat of an aftermarket exhaust. Definitely doesn't look factory. Big ass muffler. Let's measure it up. So 2.5 inch. Cool. And the muffler is offset up by the looks of it, so that's cool. Oh my god, smaller than 2 inch, bro, what the hell? So that's interesting. Has no cats, has an aftermarket exhaust, and it's 2.5 inch, which is bloody tiny, but whatever. Oh well, there's another mufflers to get tomorrow. So, no prizes for guessing where I'm going to go grab a muffler. Good old STA parts like usual. So yeah, you guys could sponsor me if you like, guys. Hook it up. Alright, so the boys at STA Parts didn't have a timing pointer for us, but we've got a... So let me drive for a minute. but we did get the muffler that we need for this LTD. So just gonna go drop into the opposition of STA Parts, which is conveniently just down the road, and see if they've got something on the shelf, because I would like to get the timing pointer side of things sorted out sooner rather than later. Here we are. Hopefully these guys have got something for me. Big thanks to First Auto Parts, coming through with the timing pointer that I've always wanted. Cheers, boys. Alright, so got the LTD jacked up. Just had a quick look underneath it, figured out what I'm going to do. Should be relatively easy. So I'm going to have to cut this big muffler out here, lop it off there, and lop it off here as well, just before the flange. Probably unbolt it from that flange there. I can drop the entire midsection out, and then I can weld up the muffler after it's all marked up and everything. As far as this rear section goes, the section that goes over the diff, lop that off there. Pretty much the muffler. These stupid little twin tips, all getting chucked out. And then we'll chuck the new stuff in, tack it all up, make sure it's in the right spot, and weld it up. So what are we welding in place of the two mufflers? I'm glad you asked. So, just went down to STA Parts yesterday, had a chat with the boys. They hooked it up with a M&H chambered muffler. These things are hella cheap, man. They're reasonably good quality. Basically a copy of the Flowmaster 40 series. So they're labelled as a 3-chamber, but they're a 2-chamber based off what Flowmaster labels them as. Obviously everybody knows how the Flowmaster 2-chamber mufflers usually look. Don't have a sectional view, but you can sort of make out with where the welds are, the actual shape. So obviously this is the inlet side. Generally they've got a plate here with a hole in the middle. Then they've got this deflector plate here, which doesn't have any holes, but basically the gas will hit that center point. It's basically like a V. Gas will go around, gas will go around. Sort of follows around into this section here. And then you've got another through hole here where it sort of just goes through and then out to the exit. Are they a good flowing muffler? Hell no. Do they sound good? Hell yes. But I'm not too sure how loud this thing's going to be either. The LTD doesn't have any cats, so someone's actually cut the existing cats off, straight piped it to the flanges where the white pipe is. So yeah, it could be a little bit too rowdy, which is why I've just decided to chuck this in the tailpipe section. Hopefully it'll tone it down a little bit, keep it somewhat street legal. This is the 2.5 inch through 10 inch long perforated core resonator from Sticky Flanges. They've come on board for this build and hooked it up with this, so thanks guys. And to finish it off, I've got these twin dump style tips that I've had laying around, I think from my sister's EL XR6. So I will probably chuck that in there as well, just to fill the bumper cutout. Those two little 2-inch pipes at the end are pathetic, so the twin 3-inch dumps should look nice and fill the gap a little bit better. First things first, spray a bit of WD-40 on these stupid little exhaust hanger things. Don't be shy with it. The next one's up in here, love these stupid little twin tips. So, probably a good thing that I decided to do the exhaust today, because I've had a chance to actually check the rear brakes and the rear suspension. So, like I was saying in the previous LTD video, this one has had the self-leveling airbag suspension thing removed in the rear. They've put in a Adobe lowering spring of some description. I don't think it's super low. It might be, I'm not sure. There's no tag on it.
but they've put some nice Bilstein or Bilston shocks, however you want to pronounce it, which are pretty expensive last I checked. So yeah, that's cool. What's not cool though is the fact that I have nearly no brake pads. So those pads are running a little bit lower than I'd like. So yeah, it's been bugging me how quiet this exhaust is, considering it has no cats and pretty much just 2 mufflers, until I've checked the center muffler and it's actually got like a multi-chamber type system there, and by the looks of it, it's got a louvered type of core in there, so that'll be where all the sound is disappearing. So yeah, this thing has a super weird muffler in it. It looks like the exhaust gas has got to do like an S-bend, so it comes towards the rear of the car, spirals back, does like a U, then another U, goes through that louvered section at the end of that chamber, and then out. So essentially it's like an S. That'll be where all the exhaust noise is going, so can't wait to cut that out and just put that chamber muffler in there. Should sound sweet. Alright, so the exhaust is out now. That's the last of it. What the hell? That's the last of it. Alright, so I've just tacked all this up, well, the midsection at least. Looks pretty ghetto. Don't worry, it's temporary. I just want to fire it up and see how it sounds. If it's too loud, I'll chuck the resonator in the rear section. If it's all good, with straight pipe in the rear, should be hectic. That's actually surprisingly quiet. So that's stock headers, no cats, 2.5 inch pipes to the diff, just the one chambered muffler. Doesn't sound too bad actually. It's got a bit of a throaty sort of noise to it. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Actually pretty happy with how that sounds. It's probably a little bit too loud for the street, but not bad. Alright, so we're on to day 2. This is Monday evening. Conveniently, I've run out of cut-off wheels with my angle grinder. So I'm going to have to cut the rear tailpipe section with a hacksaw, which is always fun. Love a little bit of manual labour. Oh man, getting too old for this shit. Oh my god, just break, man. There we go. Rightio, we're getting into some fabrication today, and like I've said before, I am by no means a fabricator, not even in the slightest sense. So we're going to stick some shit together today with the welder. Hopefully it works. I'll show you what I got under the car so far. Alright, so this is what we're working with right now. So this is terrible. Anyway, I've tacked the muffler in place. I've tacked a little block that I'm going to use to mount this hanger. So I'll drill and tap some holes in there. mount the hanger. We've got a flange from the Barrett sticky flanges, so we've got that will actually weld onto the end of the muffler. We'll get this tailpipe section up over the diff, which it's just hanging at the moment, but we'll get that sorted in a second. Basically, yeah, just going to follow the existing path. We'll make a little hanger to pick up on this point, but yeah, then we'll follow that through to the end where the cutout is in the bumper back there, and I'm probably going to chuck that little resonator over there somewhere up in this area, and then just, yeah, twin 3-inch dumps to exit the rear bar. So it should be good if I can get it all done today. I'm ambitious, to say the least, because it usually gets freezing pretty quickly right now. We're in the middle of winter and it sucks. So yeah, we'll do what we can today. Hopefully finish it, because I would like to take this for a drive. Alright, so we've got the midsection of the exhaust door welded up, so it doesn't look too bad. Like I was saying, I'm not a fabricator, so don't pay too much attention to my welds. So yeah, so that's basically what we've got at the moment. So muffler's welded in, so I had to make a little extension piece to fill in the gap where the old muffler was. This muffler is like way longer than the new one. So I put in this little block at the back just so I can mount the hanger. Put and tap some holes for the 2 M8 bolts to go through, so that all locates in there nicely. Trying to keep this relatively easy to bolt in and remove. So I've tried to keep 2 bolt flanges and whatnot. Didn't want to weld everything up in single piece. All this is going to get changed eventually anyway, so not a major. But yeah, it's basically how it's looking at the moment. Rear section to be assessed, and yeah, pretty much just looking at using the existing tailpipe section. Obviously I'll weld in that resonator and then figure out a way to put those twin tips in. Hopefully it all goes in nicely. Hopefully it lines up with all the existing mounting points to keep it easy, and yeah, it should be relatively happy days. Like I was saying, all of this shit's going to get changed in the future anyway. I want to go a proper twin 2¼ inch system on it, so for the time being this will keep me happy for a little while. As long as it sounds like a V8 should, I'll be pretty stoked with that. Alright, so I've got the tailpipe section dummied up. It's basically about to rain, but we'll see if we can at least get this tacked up, and then maybe do the final weld up of this section at least, and then figure out what I'm going to do to get the rest of this out the back of the bumper. But should be easy enough. Good thing with the 2½ inch piping is there's clearance for days, so yeah, keeps it relatively easy. Yep, here comes the rain. No, I lie, we're back on. Look at that. Sun's back. Sun's back.
finally tacked up the last of the tailpipe section to the twin tips that exit out the rear bumper. What a pain in the ass. So this looks mega hoary, but this is just an offcut I had off an old exhaust that I had made ages ago. So I'll weld this up, weld the flange section. Pretty sure this hanger's in the wrong spot, so yeah, we'll have to figure that one out. Alright, so we finally got the last little bit of the puzzle. And I was going to say done, but it's not done, because the welder decided to blow up on me. I was literally just finishing up that weld there, and it decided to die, and that's all I've got left. Fuck my life. Anyway, so I want to try and fix the welder. If I can't, I'm going to throw the fucking thing over the fence. Yeah, not ideal. So it's Sunday. None of the shops are open right now because it's sort of late afternoon, and I don't want to blow a whole bunch of money on a welder just yet because I've got other stuff that I need to spend money on, which I don't really need but I want. So see if I can get this welder fixed. If not, I'm gonna kick it, smack it, whatever I need to do to get my enjoyment out of it before I throw it over the fence. Anyway, hopefully we'll get a result. Alright, so it's Tuesday today, and I have managed to knock off work relatively early, mainly because I got to rush to the other side of Auckland to go pick up another welder because my trusty old SIG Weld 135 decided to blow up on Sunday, right when I was in the midst of welding on the last section of the exhaust. I love it. I absolutely love it. So we're on a mad rush right now to try and get over to Botany from Papakura, and that's probably like a 35-minute drive in peak hour traffic, and I'm trying to do it in about 20. So GPS is telling me do 250 k's on the motorway and we should be sweet. So yeah, we'll see if we make it. Alright, so I'm kind of happy today because my dead welder over there is being replaced with another welder that I just picked up from the guys at Tool and Industrial Supplies over in East Tamaki. So hit them up if you need a cheap welder. These guys got some good stuff for sale at the moment, so I picked up one of these. So it's just a WeldTech branded 140 amp gasless MIG. It's nice and lightweight compared to that other thing I had. Yeah, so should do the trick for the exhaust pipe that I'm welding and all the little home projects and whatnot that I usually do. So we'll test it out, and if it's shit, you guys are going to know about it. Anyway, we'll get into it. Alright, let's go test this welder out. Hopefully it don't blow up. Oh shit! Safety first. Look at that. Alright, she's all done. She's pretty hoary, but yeah, ready to bolt it in and hopefully it lines up with everything. Alright, so exhaust is finally done. Just about to drop it down from the stands, but yeah, all looks okay. The tip isn't perfect. I need to sort of level it out a bit better, but for now, that'll do. is all done, finally. I think it's taken me like 3 weeks on and off trying to get this thing done. So it's good that it's actually done, because I'm sick of working on it. But anyway, we can tick that off the list for now. But yeah, reasonably happy. It's not loud, and it's not exactly quiet like it was before. So yeah, win-win I guess. Still relatively comfortable to drive, like cruising around and stuff. There's literally zero drone. You just get like a light hint of that little 302 trying to make some noise when you're cruising around. So yeah, no, it's good. But it's one of those ones where you get on the gas and it sort of wakes up a little bit. So yeah, no, it's good. Reasonably happy. It could be louder. I wouldn't say it's loud enough. Like, it could be louder. But yeah, in saying that, I want to keep it reasonably legal, especially considering it's got to go for a warrant of fitness check tomorrow. But yeah, so far so good. The chambered muffler seems to be a good choice for the 302 Windsor 5 litre. Probably not the best for flow, but definitely sound wise they seem to work pretty nicely on these motors. So definitely recommend the resonator if you're trying to cut down the drone at least, because I can say straight off the bat would have hella drone with just the muffler itself and straight pipe rear. So the little bullet resonator from Sticky Flanges is definitely doing a really good job in that department. Massive shout out to Jason at Sticky Flanges as well, because basically they've come on board for this build. They've hooked it up with some bits and pieces, so the resonator, the flanges. So yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing more of the Sticky Flanges products in my fleet of cars. So yeah, like I was saying in previous videos, and this video as well, the plan is to go with a twin 2¼ inch system from pretty much straight off the headers all the way back. So I've been in touch with Jason at Sticky Flanges, and we're going to come up with something for this. So super excited for that, because I really want to do a twin system on this. I think the single 2½ inch is pretty restrictive on a 5 litre that you've got mild mods on. So obviously it still does a trick, but yeah, it'll be choking the flow in the upper revs at least. So yeah, can't wait to do the twin 2¼ inch system. Be interesting to see what the sound's like after that, because yeah, there's a whole bunch of other mods that I want to do as well to the engine. So hopefully it should all work together nicely.
So I'm going to leave the socials for Sticky Flanges right around here and down in the description as well. Make sure you go check out their website, their Facebook and their Instagram. See what they're about, because they've got a lot to offer, especially for the DIY community, the guys like myself that just want to have a crack at it. Yeah, it's awesome to be able to just go to a one-stop shop, grab all the bits and pieces that you need. Pretty much any exhaust component, your flanges, your manifold flanges, if you're doing headers or turbo manifolds for that matter. Obviously exhaust tubing, mufflers, resonators, your hanger brackets and all that sort of stuff. They do a really awesome twin shotgun style exhaust tip, all TIG welded up by the man himself, and it looks pretty spicy. I'd love to run one on one of my cars, but just the way that the exhaust exits on an E-Series, it's sort of a little bit tricky, but we'll make it happen one day. We'll no doubt get something under there. But yeah, go check them out. They're not just about the supply of exhaust components, they actually do fabrication as well. So Jason and Nicole, they've got a nice little business going. So it's good to support your locals, and it's always good to support the boys as well. So yeah, make sure you go check them out. Go buy something. As always, thanks again for watching, guys. Appreciate the support. Hopefully it won't be too long before the next video. It's taken a little while to actually make this one up. So until next time, thanks again for watching. Ciao, ciao.